Before Sunday, I was going to give a long, strong explanation of why this was late for the second year in a row. But after Sunday, I just cannot be asked. Here's the short story. Over the last 9 days, I've been absolutely over. Between working 7 straight days because one of my scheduled off days in the middle of the week got snatched, the last 3 days of that stretch were working between 10 to 14 hours. Then I had to get up for Daytona, drive all the way there, just to see a rainout, drive all the way back, and then go to work the next morning because I couldn't return to the track. And over that entire stretch, I had not slept for more than 4 hours per night, and I lost $150 thanks to that Daytona ticket. I'm completely off. I tried to get this video out on time. It didn't happen. Now I'm putting it out now. Trust me, I ran it before the race actually happened. I didn't try to fledge the results. It is what it is. This entire spring might cuck me over, but I'm going to post whenever I can post it, and hopefully it comes out before the race happens. If it doesn't, it happens. I am just so freaking exhausted. Just allow me for at least this week. This is NR2003 Predicts. We take the entry list of NASCAR's top 3 series, send them through the ratings algorithm, and see who comes out on top. Here's a few tidbits to know heading in. The driver ratings are updated race by race to reflect the performance of that driver throughout the season, as well as at that specific track in recent years. The races are at 100% length and use normal tire and fuel wear. The starting lineup will match the real-life qualifying using the provisional starting order, not the one that includes drivers heading to the back. The weather will match the real-life start time data, and commentary will match the real-life scenarios, not the standings that will be posted at the end of the video. And as always, this series is for entertainment purposes only. Using artificial intelligence and using the results of this race for gambling purposes is discouraged. Let's take a look at how the trucks fared. Tyler Ankrum in his first start at Daytona, taking home the checkered flag. Remember that he could not compete in this event 1 year ago because of his age. Well, he comes in here with his new GMS Racing team and takes home the checkered flag, just beating out Christian Eckes. GMS Racing having a pretty solid run in this race as they put 3 of their drivers in the top 10. That includes Zane Smith and Sheldon Creed. Looking over at Xfinity, it was no competition for Justin Haley. Looks like the pit stops scattered that entire field as well as the lap traffic. He puts himself out in front. Brandon Jones, Noah Gragson, they'll make up the top 3 in this one as they go into Daytona. Justin Haley will come out with a playoff spot at the end of the season. Austin Cindric just above the cut line along with Josh Williams as a very scattered field to start off the season. We head to the Cup Series Daytona 500. Green flag flies. Ricky Stenhouse Jr., Alex Bowman on the front row. Stenhouse with a good jump right out of the gate, and he will pull out right in front of Alex Bowman. Get those Chevrolets lined up, and they will both go down to the low line and block Joey Logano, who comes in at third, winning the first duel on Thursday. William Byron, the second winner, he's going to be on the outside and be trapped there as the 22 comes up and blocks him. The 47, though, pacing the field out in front as the 22 now switches lanes and goes down to the bottom. It's going to be a very draft-heavy race. We'll see how long they can stay in the pack. But right now, the 47 has control. We definitely keep in mind this will be the last Daytona 500 that Jimmy Johnson will compete in, but he is the winningest active driver at this racetrack. 3 wins in total here. Just beating out Denny Hamlin and Kevin Harvick. And right now having a pretty solid run as he runs just behind Austin Dillon and Ryan Newman for the lead. You can see the entire pack right behind them. Quite a few top 5s picked up by the one-car driver, Kurt Busch. 13 top 5 finishes here at this racetrack. Has competed here over 35 times. He always seems to have it there at the end. Ryan Newman also with quite a few top 5s here as well. The 2008 Daytona 500 winner. Kevin Harvick won this race in 2007. He's got a few top 10s here, and you can see he's kind of lagging around the back, trying to keep himself out of trouble. Kurt Busch and Jimmy Johnson also having eclipsed him in those top 10s. Right now, the 4-car driver's trying to take it slow and see if he can keep himself on the racetrack. But there's going to be a little problem right here. In turn 4, Brendan Gaughan and Denny Hamlin get together, the winner of this race last season, and that's going to create a big stack-up. Ryan Blaney, Gaughan, Reagan, and then a big bunch of cars coming in late. Eric Almirola down there on the low end, Joey Gase in the back, Quinn Houff making his first start in the StarCom machine. Here we see Chris Buescher, Justin Haley, and others, including Brennan Poole and BJ McLeod, plowing at that one. Looks like Harvick might have gotten through safely there, and it looks like he was kind of weaving his way through. 17 crunched up, and there's going to be quite a few cars taken out in this accident. A little bit of pit strategy, going to put the 88 out in front. He'll zip away from the start-finish line. Timmy Hill, the only driver that's gone down a lap, is still on the racetrack. Chase Elliott trying to work his way up here with a little bit of help, including from the 77 and 8 right in front of him. Trying to get to this next pack. He has the most poles at this racetrack with 3, among those active drivers at least. Kyle Busch also a little bit further back than he would like to be. Don't know if this is a planned thing to try to stay away from cars crashing out like we just saw, but he's led quite a few laps here, over 400. Denny Hamlin has led the most among the active drivers, although he is wrecked out at this point. We see that kind of split that's kind of happened between these two packs. Not too much of a split, but we also see a few cars lagging back. Austin Dillon, great average finish, has the most among those veterans. Justin Haley with that victory last July kind of spoils that chart. But there's going to be an incident here out of the Trioval. Suddenly, the 10 car breaks loose, hits the outside wall. No caution thrown, but definitely some heavy damage done to the right side of the 10 car of Almirola, and he's going to take it back to the garage and get that repaired. Justin Haley, the winner of that July race, as we mentioned, he was involved in that first accident. He's going to go a lap down. Corey LaJoie, though, having a great day at the front of the field, as he's going to lead the pack around the 16 car. We also have another driver, a rookie, trying to look his way to the lead as he goes to the underside of Ryan Newman. Christopher Bell in the 95 for the first time, making his Cup debut here at Daytona, putting up a good showing right now. Eric Jones, the winner of the Busch Clash, trying to see what he can do to work his way up the field. Obviously, that race was a bit of a crash fest. Hoping that we don't see as many accidents here today, even though the field is about twice the size. Meanwhile, further back in the field, Alex Bowman going to experience a problem as we get close to pit stops. Suddenly, he pulls his car down to the apron, and it looks like it's going to be something to do with a loose wheel, we're hearing. As he's able to pull it back around and get that service, it's going to happen just as some of the other cars are coming down for their scheduled green flag stops. They'll come to the start-finish line for the end of Stage 1, and it'll be Christopher Bell still out in front over Corey LaJoie, also having a great day. Clint Boyer, Michael McDowell, and Martin Truex Jr. make up the top 5 in this first stage. We go to the restart, and it will still be the 95 car of Bell out in front as they make another pit stop just to put in a little more fuel, try to see what they can do to extend that stage. Also try to get a couple of tires in there as well. Looking on Ricky Stenhouse Jr.'s car, won here a couple of years ago in July, but he is not quite up to the pack at the front. Trying to see what he can do to draft there. He runs in the 10th position right now. Had a lot of speed in qualifying. Looks like he's had a lot of speed as well in the dual race, but he is trying to draft his way back up there. Kyle Busch trying to go into the underside of his brother, Kurt Busch, to try to take the lead over. One of those notable drivers that has yet to win a Daytona 500. Kurt Busch obviously has. 2017, Clint Boyer, another looking for that first Daytona 500 victory after several years of trying. Matt Benedetto working his way up the inside of him. He's one of those notable drivers in a new ride for this season. Moving over to the 21, Ricky Stenhouse Jr., we mentioned, is now in the 47. Moving over from Rouse Fun Rate Racing, Chris Buescher involved in that first accident. Those two kind of swapping rides as Ryan Preece moves over to the 37, was in the 47 last year. Got some more green flag pit stops coming as no wrecks taking place so far in this stage. Austin Dillon going to be the first one to pull down. He'll take a few cars with, although there will be some stragglers. As those finally cycle out, Ryan Newman will be out in front. Kurt Busch, Kyle Busch, Eric Jones, they will remain in tow. John Hunter Nemechek putting up a good performance as a rookie. There's Jones once again, getting passed up by the Busch brothers. Jones looking for a breakout season. Got a win at Darlington last year, but obviously his teammates of Denny Hamlin, Kyle Busch, and Martin Truex Jr. hogging up all the wins. 20 team really looking for something to go his way. Jimmy Johnson, we ride on board him, and he remains just behind Ryan Newman and Joey Logano. That's not for position. He is a lap down. So he is really trying to fight his way back in the lead lap before this stage ends. Matt Benedetto, though, going to have a problem coming to the Trioval. His car blows up, and then he runs into the wall just like Eric Almirola did. Didn't quite go around, but still going to cause even more damage to that race car than he already had. Coming to the stripe, it's going to be Eric Jones who gets to the line first over Joey Logano, Kurt Busch, John Hunter Nemechek, and Austin Dillon. Kyle Busch somehow falling out of that pack, even though he looked like he was in contention. He would eventually drift back. A little bit of problem for that Stage 2 winner, though, as Brad Keselowski clips him coming to his pit stall, runs into the back of Ryan Newman. That's going to set Jones back quite a bit, as now Joey Logano takes over the top spot. John Hunter Nemechek just behind him. 22 car has gone to victory lane in the Daytona 500 before, trying to see if he can make it number 2. Martin Truex Jr. trying to keep pace with that pack in front of him. He currently runs in the 10th position, but lagging a little bit further back from the lead group that he'd like to be, as this is the last stage. Everyone's going to be fighting for position. It looks like they're going to eventually group together as Ryan Newman leads the pack. Clint Bowyer just behind. Austin Dillon fighting his way up there, 2018 champion of this race. Kurt Busch also working his way toward the front, won in 2017. He took a little peek to the inside of the 6 car right there, but unable to make the move. Still remains in the 2nd position. Christopher Bell going to be the first one to establish pit stops, but he is not being joined by many others. They're going to run a few more laps before they come in. Looks like Bell's just trying to make sure that they get just within their fuel window, but didn't coordinate with anyone else to get some drafting help. It's going to be a tough run for the 95 car for the rest of this race. Joey Logano tries to look to the inside and try to gain a few more positions as the pack has broken up. Ryan Newman now comes down along with Cole Custer, the rookie, Ross Chastain, Austin Dillon. You can see a few cars in front of them also coming down. As they cycle out the green flag pit stops, it's going to be Kurt Busch, Clint Bowyer, and Michael McDowell out in front. You can see Jimmy Johnson still off the lead lap. Not looking like a huge pack going to finish this one out for the victory unless they get another yellow. Cole Custer, we're riding on board right now, trying to work in a draft with Ross Chastain, William Byron, another car up front. I believe that would be Ryan Newman, as they are trying to get back to that group of 3 out in front. And it looks like they're going to get a little help with a lapped car. Reed Sorensen holding up a few cars. That's going to allow that pack to get back to them. William Byron now joins the conversation, looking for his first career Cup Series win. Could he do it in the Daytona 500? Ross Chastain having a great day right now. How about that for the Spire Motorsports machine? Obviously, they're getting a little help from Chip Ganassi Racing with Ross Chastain behind the wheel. But considering they got the victory in the rain-shortened July race, what an impressive move that would be for that team to go back-to-back at Daytona. Kurt Busch, though, now establishes himself at the lead as the laps wind down. Chastain looking to the inside of Johnson, trying to get back to Busch. And McDowell is all over the place, looking for a little help as well. We're coming to the white flag lap right here. Chastain finds his way to the front. Reed Sorensen once again getting lapped. Logano and Byron trail the 77 car. The intensity builds as they go single file. Ross Chastain out in front. Logano, Byron trail. McDowell and Johnson are not on the lead lap. So they are just drafting at this point. Kurt Busch has kind of gotten behind some traffic, and Ryan Newman's out of the conversation, well behind. Logano goes to the inside of Chastain down the backstretch, looking for some help. Byron does not go with, McDowell does. 2-4 drivers, and Logano has the edge going into turn 3. An extra car to help draft the 22 to the front, and this could be the nail in the coffin. Once a winner in this race, he's going to make it 2 now. Joey Logano coming through the tri-oval. He is going to win the Daytona 500. We thought we were going to see a total underdog win right here, but Joey Logano showing his experience. He is able to take away the victory, his 2nd Daytona 500. Let's take a look at those final finishing results. Joey Logano comes out in front of Chastain, William Byron, Kurt Busch, all in contention right at the end there. Ryan Newman will come home with the top 5. He fell off that lead group. Clint Bowyer, Austin Dillon, Christopher Bell, and Cole Custer, 2 rookies, getting a top 10 in the Daytona 500. Bubba Wallace also there in 9th place. Going back a couple spots, we'll see Martin Truex Jr. as the last car on the lead lap. As several drivers experienced some damage in this one that really kind of held them up, including Brad Keselowski, Chase Elliott. They would drop down the lap, along with Jimmy Johnson going 2 laps down, Eric Jones 3, thanks to that spin on pit lane. Corey LaJoy had a good run going at the front of the race. He ends up 4 laps down in 20th. Ricky Stenhouse Jr. also 4 laps down, the pole sitter. Kyle Larson 6 laps down. Alex Bowman 12 laps down. Don't believe it was all related to that problem he had at the start. Might have had some damage later on. Kyle Busch, Kevin Harvick, Eric Almirola, Denny Hamlin. Some of those notable drivers dropping out of the race. They all had some problems in the middle part. Pretty incident-free Stage 3. That is it for NR2003 Predicts. We hope you enjoy the race, and we will see you all next time.